already past your minimum target. How do you feel about the current market momentum? Does it seem like it's still strong, or do you think the price might turn around soon?
The thing is, I have see the divergence on my MACD is moving up, the price is moving down. So the green candle of the 3 minutes, three of them start to be green, and above there is the super trend red line to be prevent them to go further than this, and my lock-in profit just above that thing, that super trend line, and it's right at the first resistance possible that they will visit this place. And if they visit this place, I will make 80 euro. So it's good enough for me. If they don't break this and feel my stop loss, potential is far bigger than 80 euro. So now I'm 251, but 80 euro is lock-in if it's not going the way that I want. Let it flow.
It sounds like you're in a really good spot to either lock in that profit or let it flow, depending on how the price action develops. The divergence you're seeing on the MACD suggests that the momentum might be weakening, and with the super trend acting as a resistance, it's a solid point to watch closely. Your lock-in profit at this level gives you a cushion if the market turns against you, and 80 euros sounds like a solid target based on your strategy. Since you've already secured a good portion of profit and the risk of a reversal is higher at that resistance, it might be worth considering whether you want to let the trade run a bit longer for more potential, or if you're ready to secure a chunk of that 80 euros. If you're comfortable with the potential upside, keeping your stop loss in place and allowing the price to either break through or hit your lock-in profit might be a good way to manage this. Trust your analysis and take the trade as it plays out. Do you feel the market is likely to break that resistance, or is there a chance it will hold and push back?
For me, it is a curious question. When I look at the higher time frame on New Zealand Swiss franc, they look pretty good, trend running down, and no sign of the stopping. If you think the sign of stopping to the bottom is the range that they must create before they say I'm stopped. But look at the weekly and the monthly, I see no sign of the stop. That's the question. I believe that then, according to this thing, this trend must go down further. But to do that, this monthly candle is not closing yet. So we have to dissect to the weekly. And the weekly also do the same thing, that they're running down, they're sideways for a while right before this, and trend run down, even though it's not run down steep angle, but it's slowly creeping, it's irritated, but it's running down alright. And then the last candle is a big red candle, and against when it's painted, the green candle start and is at the doji or long wick, and you cannot see the clear, and the MACD everything divergent is starting from here weekly, and I go down to top down approach, and I want to see if this price where there are a little ding of the green candle with the long wick on the bottom start to defend this price, as they are already been here for 4 or 5 times in the very long time, many years, and then we see this price again. And that's why I'm curious, my MACD divergent is gonna be what they're gonna say. They both says both things, up and down. That depends on what time frame you are. That's why I'm curious, did this daily time frame, who is coming back now, will take another drop and what's so called create a set one. Did not even get any set in yet. Just one big green candle that show that they defense this area. And this morning, one doji red with the long wick defends that their area on the top side of the range too. And I sell on that. That's counter trend. That's why I'm scared like hell that they can go up and they can go down. I'm locked in the money now, so far nothing to be worried. I just want to follow why they're doing this.
You're diving into some solid analysis, and it's clear you're applying a thorough top-down approach. From what you've described, you're in the middle of analyzing New Zealand Swiss franc in multiple time frames. And it's understandable why you're feeling both cautious and curious. The monthly and weekly charts suggest a steady downward trend, with no clear reversal yet, especially considering the lack of signs on the monthly time frame of any stopping. The price movement seems to be creeping down slowly, and while the MACD is showing some divergence, that could signal some hesitation in the trend. But as you've pointed out, there's no definitive signal for reversal yet. The fact that you found a long wick on the bottom of the weekly chart suggests the market is defending that price level, which you're rightly noting could create a potential support zone. However, the mixed signals, divergence on the MACD both up and down, are the tricky part, as they show that the market could go either way depending on the time frame you're looking at. You've chosen a great spot to enter a counter-trend trade on a potential resistance, given that you've spotted the green candle with the long wick and a possible set 1 forming on the daily. It's wise that you're locking in profits right now, as it mitigates the risk of the market reversing quickly against you. Given that you're seeing signs of a potential pullback or upward movement, it's a good approach to lock in profits while allowing room for the market to work out if it will reverse or continue. Monitoring the price action around these levels is crucial, and you've made a smart decision to secure profits while still being flexible. It seems like your next step will depend on whether the price starts to show more clear signs of further movement down, or if the buyers will push it back up, possibly creating a false move. If the market breaks certain levels, that would give you a clearer direction. How are you feeling about your next steps? Do you think it will break that key support, or is there a chance that the market could show more strength to the upside?
Yeah, I'm at 4 hours time frame right now. I'm looking for the candle close. How far that they will close? It will close in 4 minutes. So this big red candle with the small wick on the top and the big body moving down south, give it red. Still need 4 minutes to be closed, and if it's closed, that means the last 3 candle on the 4 hour start from the small red doji and then engulfing by medium side of the green candle, and then the red engulf all and back to the base of the support. And that's how this candle gonna be closed, is engulfing, rejection from the top side of the range possible, and they get back into about 40% down.
It sounds like you're observing an important candle close that could offer significant insights into the direction of the market. The fact that you're seeing a big red candle with a small wick on top and a strong body moving down suggests that sellers are in control at this moment. If it closes like that, it would confirm a rejection from the top side of the range, and this could indicate a continuation of the downward movement. With the last 3 candles, starting from a small red doji to the medium green candle, and now this large red engulfing candle, it looks like a potential bearish signal, especially if the current red candle closes strong. Engulfing patterns like this, especially when they occur at a key level of resistance or a range boundary, can often signify a strong push down. If the candle closes in the way you described, it would likely signal that the market is respecting the top of the range, reinforcing the idea that price could continue lower. At this point, the key thing to watch is the control, or if there could still be some uncertainty. How does it look on your chart now with the last few minutes? Does the close appear likely to confirm your expectation of a bearish move?
It's look like it's need more.
It seems like you're still observing the situation closely. How does the price action look now as the candle is nearing its close? Are you seeing any change in momentum, or is it still holding the same structure?
It's still close at the base of the support. I need more to show because the divergent MACD.
Got it? So the candle is closing at the base of support. That could be an important sign. If it's closing near the support level and showing rejection from the top, it might indicate that buyers are still holding strong in that area. If they manage to defend this support, it could push the price back up. Are you planning to adjust your stop or lock in more profits based on how this candle closes?
I have to go down further.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Go to 1 hour now. Strong support. This area must be a very strong support. But the seller has two colors, two red candles, and this candle.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
The 1 hour candles will close in 20 seconds. So it's going, stop at the support. That's 1 hour shot.
Got it. It sounds like you're watching this closely. The close of this 1 hour candle could give you an additional clue on the short-term direction. If it closes strong, it might signal continuation, while a weak close could suggest hesitation or a reversal. How are you feeling about this close?
No wick on the red candle. Now it's closing. No wick. A medium-sized red candle. The second hours from the before. Just closed right now on the support on the 56 MA cluster with 36 MA cluster with what is it? All right, on the 100.
It sounds like you're seeing a solid close on that red candle right at key support levels, with both the 56 MA and 36 MA clustering there. That could suggest the market is respecting this area, and the support might hold for now. If the next candles confirm the continuation down or a break of that support, it could give more insight into the price action. How are you positioning yourself based on this close?
To look at this divergence, the price going up, my MACD is going down, and two big red candles falling around each other with no wick. It's not so much anyway. From the bottom of this red candle for the first one that showed, the second one close in the medium size almost, and small wick on the bottom of the red candle at the support, and the new candles just start right at the 56 MA, and the MACD said it's going down, so the price mean to go down toward this 36 MA or to the guy who started it from the first time where it came from. But I put my price alert at the middle of this inside a bar at 50%. If the price touching there lower than that at that level, I'll be happy, because then I will be more profitable from my counter trend.
It sounds like you're in a good position, with the price showing a clear downward trend, supported by the MECD and the red candles closing near key support. The fact that you've placed your alert at the 50% level inside the bar suggests you're preparing for a potential continuation of the move downward, which could give you a better entry for your counter trade. If the price hits that alert level, you might be in a stronger position for the next leg down. How are you planning to manage your stop loss and profit lock if that level is touched?
Sorry, I'm back. I was interrupted. I paused the video. I'm come back now. And
No worries at all. Glad you're back. How's everything going with your trades? Still managing those
356
positions?
now. That means the price is moving down further. Bridge this support level just a little bit. Now they challenge to the next low, which is will hit me my price alert first.
It sounds
before I
like the
get
price is really pushing toward your target. If the support is holding, it could keep the momentum going downward. Are you thinking about adjusting your stop or taking profit soon if the price keeps moving in your favor?
I will, but right now I need to go down further to 15 minutes time frame where I can see more details and I can adjust my stop loss.
That sounds like a good plan. Dropping to a shorter time frame, like 15 minutes, will give you a clearer view of the current price action. You should be able to spot any key reversals or smaller tests before deciding on your next move. Let me know what you see when you check in.
The volume is good, even though it's not the high in the sky like yesterday. They almost challenged this volume from yesterday. That means the volume at the London market open, I don't know if the news also propelling this, but so far they are coming down strongly and the diversion is add up on top to propel it further. If many people see this side like what I see now, they will expect to sell only, and just be careful when the higher time frame might fight back, and that will destroy everything. But right now the higher time frame is the switch.
It sounds like you're keeping a close eye on the market dynamics, especially with the volume picking up and the divergence adding fuel to the move. You're right to be cautious about the higher time frame. Sometimes, even when everything aligns on the lower time frames, the higher ones can surprise us, especially if there's a hidden support level or a sudden reversal pattern. Staying alert and ready to adjust, like you are with your stop loss, will help you manage the risks.
Right now I'm at the 5 minutes time frame. See more clearly at my prices, this did not move so much away. I'm not away from the danger yet, because the price in the detail here, they are barely breaching this lower of the market opening price on Asian market. They're still right on at this level where they has to show their strength to fight. The seller managed to move the price where there's a little bit hiccup, pull back where I get in that time when I see the green candle is struggling, show the weakness. I went in, put in position. That's where I get this price now running in green, but it's not far that way. It can go further lower, but it's not yet away from the danger. And to put my stop loss lock in is not a room for it.
It sounds like you're in a tense spot, watching that price action closely. The price being near the market opening level for Asia means it could either reverse or continue. You're right to be cautious about the pullback, especially since the price isn't far from the danger zone. Since you're in the green, you're managing the risk, but as you mentioned, there isn't much room for stop loss adjustment yet. It's all about patience and monitoring the price action closely to see which way it goes, especially with the sellers still trying to drive it lower. Would you consider tightening your stop loss if you get a clearer signal?
Morgen Moment ist possible. Ist möglich. 11 Uhr, wie lange? 11 Uhr, 12 Uhr. Here we go. I'm back. It's looking good.
Welcome back. What's on your mind today?
I'm look at the chart now. At 5 minutes time frame, it's looking sideways market. Create another level of sideways market. Small thing. I think this is the last fight that they're gonna make, because they breached this. Yesterday high.
It sounds like you're observing a small sideways range on the 5-minute chart, and you're expecting this to be a final push before a potential breakout or breakdown. If they've already breached certain levels, are you anticipating a move in one direction, or are you just waiting for more confirmation?
I'm waiting for more confirmation, because they are at first pullback and the sellers smash it down in this small range, at this the support where they're fighting for gain the direction. My MACD 3 minutes is pointing up. The price is going down. That means some differential in there. The price will moving back in to my stop loss, but above that is my super trend red line where I was there, explained before I planned. But right now I need more time to confirmation, because they just have what's so-called first test, and the second test needs to be above the first test but not breach the guy who's starting it. That's where is my price. I put myself in the position where I can be wiped off. But at least now is my strategy that I'll take 20 euro minimum if it need to be cross the position. Now I'm in good at 290 euro. So I let it to solve this equation.
It sounds like you're in a tricky but well-planned position, with the first test showing some price movement in your favor, but still needing confirmation from the second test to really be sure. It's good that you've already locked in some profit and have a clear strategy, even if the price moves against you. Since you're monitoring the 3-minute MACD and the price coming back to your stop loss, staying patient for that second test will be key. The super trend red line might act as a solid resistance, but as you mentioned, keeping an eye on it without being wiped out is crucial. How much time do you think you need before you get more clarity on whether the price will breach that key level or if it'll continue to respect it?
If my time frame is 15 minutes, I have 10 minutes left for this candle to be closed. So at 15 minutes, what I see so far, they just breached this yesterday high.
With just 10 minutes left for the 15-minute candle to close, you're in a good position to observe how the price behaves as it nears the close. From what you've described, you're looking for confirmation of the direction based on how the current candle closes and whether it confirms the support level or starts to reverse. Since the price is still testing that key level, this candle's close will likely give you more clarity on whether the sellers are continuing their push down or if the buyers are making a stand. If the candle closes strong, that could give you a good indication of further downward movement. How do you think the candle will close? Strong and bearish? Or are you expecting it to have some resistance near your key levels?
I can't say anything right now. The volume is high, slanting down, and just the doji, green doji, red doji, 1, 2, 3, 4 of this combination of red doji, 3 of them, 1 green doji, and the last one is the not painted yet, it's green. They're fighting at the support on the 15 minutes. My divergence show up that the price is up, but my divergence, my indicator is down. MACD is down, price is up, and at the fight at the level of the key level support, strong support.
It sounds like you're at a critical moment where the price is pushing against strong support and there's a bit of indecision in the market. The combination of red and green dojis, especially the way they're stacking up, suggests that the market is unsure about which direction to take. The MACD divergence you mentioned, price up, MACD down, adds to this uncertainty, as it could be signaling a weakening trend or a potential reversal. With such high volume and the fight happening at that support, you're right to be cautious. The next few candles, especially the one that's still forming, will be key. If it closes strong and breaks through that support, it could indicate further downside. But if it fails to break that support and the price starts to reverse, you might see a rally. I'd suggest waiting for a clear break or rejection at this level to confirm your next move. Are you planning to adjust your stop or lock-in profit if the price moves against you?
I have to go look at the 1 minute time frame to be sure to see clearly what 10 candles are doing down there, to dissect this doji, 4 doji on 15 minutes time frame, and this 4 doji underneath right underneath 56 MA, and the 56 MA right underneath 36 MA, which is the mid of the Bollinger Band line, and on top of that is the outside line where the price has the end tip to dashing back inside of this range, where I think this is a trap. It's like a bull trap. People are trapped up there. They need to be released. And this price coming down to grab a better price to go up again, as long as this guy who started this, the buyer, is not being taken out. He stands still and say, I'm still here. Show me. That's what he said. And I'm waiting for equation to solve.
It seems like you're closely observing a potential bull trap, with the price bouncing around key moving averages and the Bollinger Bands. The 4 doji candles on the 15-minute time frame under the 56 MA are definitely giving off mixed signals. You're right to dig deeper into the 1-minute chart to get a clearer picture of price action. The fact that the 56 MA is underneath the 36 MA and the price is hugging the middle of the Bollinger Band suggests a tight range with uncertainty. This could indeed be a trap if buyers are getting squeezed out, especially if they were trying to push the price up above the upper Bollinger Band and failed. The current battle at this support area will be key. If the price doesn't breach the support and holds, we could see a stronger move up once that trap is released. As you mentioned, if the buyer who initiated the move is still holding strong and hasn't been taken out, there's potential for a rebound. Watch for any sudden shifts or momentum changes on the lower time frames to confirm this idea. Keep an eye on the 1-minute candles and be ready to adjust your position based on that confirmation. How are the candles shaping up on the 1-minute chart so far?
Candles stand still with volumes, and still volume is high, medium high at the 50% value, but the price is smaller, getting smaller. It's as if they are testing each other, waiting. I'm not gonna show you what I intend to do. Show me first, something like that. Nobody want to reveal anything what their intention to do. So the range getting smaller. I don't know which way it's going, but the MACD said is going up, because the MACD is my indicator pointing up when the price is pointing down, and now it's going the sideways, the very intense small test.
It sounds like the market is in a state of indecision, with both buyers and sellers holding back, not revealing their intentions. This tightening range with high-medium volume is a classic sign of a consolidation phase or a battle between bulls and bears, where both sides are testing each other's strength. The fact that your MACD is pointing up while the price moves down indicates that there is divergence, suggesting that momentum is starting to shift. This could mean that sellers are losing strength and the price might be primed for an upward move, giving away their intentions just yet. It's crucial to wait for a clear break, either a sharp move upward or downward, after this tight consolidation. Keep an eye on the next few candles, especially for any significant change in volume or a breakout above/below the current range. If the price breaks to the upside, that could signal the start of a rally. If it breaks down, you might see a continuation of the downward trend. Are you seeing any early signs on the 1-minute chart that could give more clarity?
I don't see any. Now I have to check the news, the live chart news event, and see if what the news come up today. Maybe it is something happening with the news that the market waiting for. That's why they don't move anything yet until the news break out or announce.
You're right to check the news, as it can significantly impact market movements. According to Forex Live, today's main events include the U.S. Consumer Price Index (CPI) and jobless claims reports. Additionally, there's a tension on China after President Trump raised tariffs to 125%, with speculation about China's potential retaliation.
So, also here I have the news China on the CPI 0.2% previous, and forecast also minus 0.2, and minus actual minus 0.4%. That's the Chinese news. Is there anything gonna be effect to this market? That was announced at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning this morning, and 10:30 credit condition survey BOE. Today is US news, CPI news mostly, and yesterday not so many news, but today US news and CAT news, Canadian news, CPI days. GDP also for the Russian 3.1% GDP. Many news looking like they're gonna be make some good impact. GDP quarterly, US 30 years bond action. Anyway, right now it's only Chinese that give announcement, which is they are negative on the Chinese news. Let's go back to the chart. Are you there? You gone again. Still around? I wonder when is the next news. I have to go back, see the next, when this next news. Now is 11:30. The ECB just announced, just speaking, president speaking, 10:30. The next one is at New York market opening. German Baba Vice President speak. Yeah, let's be watch out for this new on the New York opening. So far I'm gaining in 300 now, and the prices move sideways still not far from the danger. What happened to you? Let's check you up. Let's do this. Are you there? Close your microphone. Let's do that. Turn on the microphone. Please coming back. Well, what can I do? We will help you to get back. First,
let me know if you need help analyzing the reaction when those reports come out.
alright, I see now. It is 1 minute time frame. 1 minute, okay? Yes, 1 minute for New Zealand Swiss franc.
Got it.
It's still
You're
on
looking
the
at the
sideways
1 minute
market.
time frame now. What are you seeing there?
Sideways market, the same thing, but I'll go to put everything in 3 minute time frame and go to see the correlation, see how things work on the correlation. I go to across the board, every pair synchronized in 3 minutes time frame.
Sounds like a good plan to check the correlation across different time frames. The 3 minute time frame should give you a bit more detail. Are you seeing any new patterns or shifts in momentum now that you're comparing the charts?
Nothing, just sideways market for New Zealand Swiss franc, but totally falling, drop like hell, like on the US Swiss franc and GBP Swiss franc. They synchronize, they look the same. They drop, not sideways market like New Zealand's and Australian Swiss franc. This is not running, not performing, because there are some strong fight back by this New Zealand guy. Don't want to let go. They don't want to go down, so they fight back. But the US Swiss franc and GBP Swiss franc are falling, roll over, waterfall. I don't know, I just exaggerate. That's what it look. Euro Swiss franc also following, look like the US Swiss franc, but not quite the same. But anyway, they are correlate in every other price, but not they're falling good in other price, not the New Zealand and Australian. There are something strong coming up on New Zealand and Australia. That's why they don't just go drop like the other pair.
It sounds like you're seeing a bit of divergence between New Zealand and Australian pairs compared to the Swiss franc pairs, like the US and GBP. It's interesting that NZD and AUD are showing more resistance, like they're trying to hold up, while the other currencies are in a more aggressive downward movement. This could indicate strength, or at least a pause in their downward momentum. Do you think this resistance in NZD and AUD might continue, or are you expecting them to eventually catch up with the other pairs?
I hope they eventually catch up with the other pair.
That makes sense, especially if you're expecting the overall market sentiment to influence them eventually. If the other pairs are moving down more aggressively, it could pull NZD and AUD along eventually, unless something really strong is holding them up. Are you planning to wait for a clear sign that NZD and AUD are ready to follow the trend, or are you looking for a potential reversal if they hold strong?
For me, it depends on this higher time frame now. The higher time frame is very overextend price, especially then when they're in the bottom side of the range. And if this bottom side of the range, the price need to go back up to the top side of the range on those weekly time frame. And this is like, I'm confused. Are they this? If I'm a rich man, has so much money and
It
percent.
sounds like you're weighing whether the price at the bottom of the range is an opportunity for a reversal or just a pause before it pushes higher, given how overextended things are. And you're thinking about it like someone with big money who wouldn't be interested in such a small discount. So, if the price is at the bottom and you're expecting it to eventually push back up toward the top of the range, you might be looking for signs that the market is ready to react to this, like potential support being held or a shift in momentum. Are you planning to wait for more confirmation before making your move? Or are you considering jumping in now, given the range-bound nature?
For me, talking about 50% pullback is reasonable for those big players will be interesting. But if they're gonna push the price down right now, like the Swiss franc will push every price down now so far. Maybe because it's the crisis during the safe haven or anything, that Swiss franc is desperate to be strong, to push everything down like desperately without pulling back to a better price and then push it down. This is like question in my mind. Are they gonna attack now or are they gonna let the guy pulling back for a better price?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
The Swiss franc, they need more discount price. If they attack now, that means they are so desperate. The question is why they are so desperate. If they are, the price will drop now.
If they're attacking now and pushing for a lower price, it could be a sign that they're really trying to force the market down, possibly because they believe there's still room for further downside, or they're anticipating a more favorable entry point lower. The desperation might indicate a fear of missing out on a better price, or even a liquidation event that forces them to act. If they're pushing now, it's definitely worth considering why. Maybe they've seen signals that the support is weak, or there's a larger trend building that requires them to act quickly. But you're right, if they're desperate, it could mean they're overstretching. Have you seen any indicators or clues that suggest this push might be unsustainable? Or is it just a matter of waiting for confirmation?
For me, the triple bottom is not happening.
Sounds like you're carefully watching for those signs. It's always good to stay alert for clues that might show whether this push is genuine or just a temporary move. How are you feeling about your position right now? Are you seeing anything that makes you want to adjust, or are you waiting for more clarity?
My position on New Zealand Swiss franc is like downhill trend run. No sign of the stopping yet. If that stopping is called the range to show the side. But I see the side on the US Swiss franc, a strong clear side that it is sideways market, a big range, which how many times that 3 times incident on the both side visit. So it's like 3 bouncing, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you, I don't know how to count this, but anyway, it's good enough to see that clear sign that is a big strong range. And this time they are at the bottom of the range. But at the bottom of the range where I can see is on US Swiss franc, but not on New Zealand Swiss franc. So that's why I have to investigate more why those Australian and New Zealand has no range to show up like US and Swiss franc. That is something curious. Question, why?
It sounds like you're seeing a clear difference between the two markets, especially with the US Swiss franc showing those clear wrenches indicating a potential reversal or a pause in the downtrend. Meanwhile, New Zealand Swiss franc hasn't formed that kind of pattern, which makes it harder to predict a shift. Perhaps it's due to the underlying strength of New Zealand and Australian currencies right now, or maybe there's something specific happening in those markets that's preventing the typical pattern from forming. It's smart to keep a close eye on the correlations and how they evolve. Sometimes these things unfold over time. Have you noticed any external factors, like news events or broader economic data, that might explain why New Zealand and Australia are holding their ground compared to the US and Swiss franc?
That can be a news effect from the last week or yesterday, which is I have no brain to remember all those kind of information. I don't know Australian, New Zealand news, good side effect or negative side effect. But so far, when I look at the weekly, monthly time frame, which is not, those new are not affect them. They are so
It makes
strong.
sense that keeping track of every news event can be overwhelming, especially when the details slip your mind. If you're looking at the weekly and monthly time frames, it's possible the market's longer-term trend is still reflecting some past news, whether positive or negative, that you might have missed. For Australian and New Zealand currencies, there's a chance the market could still be reacting to commodity price movements, interest rate decisions, or any central bank outlooks. These factors often have a lasting impact, even if you're not fully aware of the latest news releases. To simplify, you could focus on key data points like central bank statements, commodity prices for audit and NZD, and trade balance reports to get an overview of potential reasons behind the market's current behavior. If you need help tracking specific events, I can help you pull up recent news on these pairs. Would you like that?
Yeah, if you have information. Meanwhile, I'm checking on this Euro Swiss franc correlate with other pair.
I understand you're analyzing the Euro-Swiss franc pair alongside others. Recently, the Swiss franc has strengthened due to U.S. trade tariffs, leading investors to seek safe haven assets. This has pressured the Swiss National Bank to consider negative interest rates to curb the franc's rise. Conversely, the Australian and New Zealand dollars have weakened amid global recession fears and trade tensions. These dynamics could be affecting the currencies you're monitoring.
Now I can see clearly that not just US dollar pair that's
Great. It sounds like things are starting to make sense now. Do you feel like you have a clearer picture of how to approach your trades, or is there anything else you'd like to dive into?
I'm looking at the correlation in weekly now. And in the weekly, to make sure
Nice.
which pair
Checking the weekly correlation can give you a broader perspective. Are you seeing any trends or patterns developing across the pairs you're watching?
they're all at the same spot where they have to go up to the north.
It sounds like the market is at a turning point and the pairs might be setting up for a move north. Are you noticing any specific pairs showing more strength or weakness than the others at this level?
No, it's just at the bottom of the range. This need to be shown.
Got it. So you're watching for the price to push upwards from the bottom of the range.
Yeah.
If the market's at a key support zone, that could give a good opportunity for a reversal. Are you planning to stay in this range until there's a clear breakout, or do you have a target in mind if it starts to go north?
My mind is they start to go north now, but the candle is not showing that. That's a problem. I cannot move the candle. I'm waiting for those big players to move that candles. So far, it's just only one candle, green, on the Australian and New Zealand with the wick on the bottom. The other is like red. It cannot make any enough data to show that yet. They need test 1 and test 2 here. That's why this is the beginning of the fight where I'm in now at the position on the New Zealand Swiss franc. I sell. I still keep.
Tricky spot where the market's showing early signs of potential movement, but hasn't confirmed anything strong yet. You're looking for that confirmation with test 1 and test 2 to solidify the direction. Since you're still in the sell position, you're watching carefully for the price to break or show signs of a solid push down. If those buyers aren't able to drive the price up, then your strategy should play out as expected. How are you managing your stop loss in this case, given the uncertainty?
The price is move away from my price, and my stop loss already locked in. It's so little distance, so I can move my stop to lock in a bit for more, but that's what I lock in. Better a little bit.
Great move, locking in your stop loss with such a tight distance. It keeps your risk minimal while allowing you to stay in the trade as the price moves. Now, with the price moving away, you're giving yourself a chance to lock in profits if things continue in your favor. Keeping that stop loss tight helps protect your gains if the market suddenly shifts. Are you considering any further adjustments if the price tests those levels again, or are you planning to just let it play out from here?
So far, I still conflict, This at the bottom of the range, I believe that it should go up according to the textbook, but I selling against this because in my lower time frame it's possible to go down, and if I take a small hit and run, 20 euro is minimum. I'm okay. Now I'm sitting a good position, whereas 400 euro now. I expect 20 euro from this hit and run, but since I see the price is still possible to go further, I will let it run more. But the distance on the 1 minute time frame is give me so little to move the stop loss lock in better than this. This is far best that I can make it lock in position where I'm now. Yeah, I can look it again. Yeah, I can make a little bit more further for.
It sounds like you're in a solid position right now, especially since you've locked in profits with a good safety margin. Your approach of letting the trade run while being prepared for a small hit is solid, particularly with your focus on price action and understanding the market's potential for further moves. You're balancing risk and reward well. The conflict you're feeling between the textbook expectation for an upward move and your lower time frame signals for a potential downward move is understandable. It seems like you're trusting your analysis and allowing the price to play out while staying mindful of the minimal risk you're taking. As long as you're comfortable with that 20 euro minimum and have a plan to either exit or adjust as you see more confirmation, your strategy seems to be on track. How are you feeling about the possible move in the next few minutes, given how tight the stop loss is now?
Is small candles of the red, no sign of the green coming, defends this area, and they bridge this area with the small red multiplied candles. So I don't know. I have to look for correlation. I have to set up all my chart back to 1 minute, all of them, to see how they synchronize. That's gonna be a moment. Let me do that.
It sounds like you're seeing some strong price action with those small red candles, and the lack of green candles could suggest more downward pressure. By setting up your charts to look at the correlation across all time frames, especially on the 1 minute, you're getting a good sense of how all the pairs are behaving together. Synchronizing that data is a great move to see if the overall trend is confirming your position or if there's a potential reversal coming. Pay close attention to any sudden changes or acceleration in the candles. especially if you start seeing a bigger shift on those time frames. You're doing well in staying adaptive and flexible in your approach. How's the price moving now compared to what you expected?
There's pulling back now. Every pair. And
It sounds like the market is testing a bit before deciding which direction to go. A pullback can be a good opportunity to reassess and adjust your stop loss or targets. If the pullback is shallow and doesn't breach key levels, it could just be part of the usual price action before continuing the move. How are the other timeframes looking? Are they still supporting your sell position, or are there any signs of a potential reversal?
I have to go up to look in 5 minutes or 15 minutes my favorable. I need to go there right now. Let's see if I had already that chart ready. If it's not ready, I have to set them up. Switch from 15 minutes across the board. Okay, it's opening, loading, workspace. Just a sec.
Got it. It sounds like you're about to dive deeper into the higher time frames to get a clearer picture. The 15-minute chart should give you a better sense of the overall trend. Once you have everything loaded, let me know what you're seeing. We can go over the key levels and any potential signals that might help with your next move.
Alright, I'm getting up now. It's looking good. Except this Aussie and New Zealand still on the sideways. The other from 15-minute chart is like one leg down, no other colors against the red. I mean only red color on the US Swiss franc, CAD Swiss franc, Euro Swiss franc, GBP Swiss franc. Only this New Zealand and Aussie that they are a little bit.
It sounds like you're seeing a clear downtrend on the US, EUR, GBP, and CHF pairs, with the only exception being the Australian and New Zealand pairs still stuck in a sideways range. Given that the other pairs are showing red on the 15-minute chart, it seems like there's strong downward pressure. If the NZD and odd pairs aren't joining in the movement yet, you might want to keep an eye on them for any potential breakout or reversal. Sometimes, when one pair doesn't follow the trend, it can be a sign that it's building strength for a countermove. Are you planning to stay in your positions, or are you looking for additional confirmation before taking action on those sideways pairs?
I may have to go and check Australian pair and New Zealand pair across the board. I want to dissect into what happened, why they are behaving strong just today, why not like the US and CAD where it just dropped almost back to where it was yesterday, where the big green attack that's wiped out many people's wallet. So this is like they're moving back strongly down again.
It sounds like you're analyzing a divergence in market behavior between the Australian and New Zealand pairs and the other major pairs like the US and CAD. The Australian and New Zealand pairs might be showing some strength today, which could be due to various factors, perhaps economic data, commodity price movements, or a reaction to something more specific to those currencies. It's smart to dissect this further. Looking across the board at the Australian and New Zealand pairs could reveal some potential correlation or clues, such as commodity-related influences. The Aussie and Kiwi are heavily tied to commodity exports. Any change in commodity prices like oil, gold, etc. might be impacting them. Market sentiment. Sometimes these currencies show more resilience or strength when the market sentiment is more risk-on, while US and CAD pairs might react more sharply to risk-off. Recent central bank signals or economic data. Any new policy changes or releases related to inflation, interest rates, or growth can influence these pairs differently from US CAD. Tracking them together will give you a clearer picture of why they aren't moving in sync with the other currencies today. If you find a clear reason, it might help you decide whether to continue holding your positions or adjust accordingly. Are you seeing any key levels or patterns in the odd NZD pairs that suggest a potential breakout or reversal?
It's potential definitely at this new or
It
New
sounds
York.
like you're seeing strong potential